And I didn't like the fact that Aaliyah was brought up in the situation. Is anyone ready? Okay, so the review for this wig that I made, it's real cute, ain't it? It's the first time I ever did a shortcut with a at least I can remember, with a frontal and some bundles. But anyway, this is from Supernova Hair. You know I love Supernova, honey. And the review for this will be up obviously it should be up now. If y'all watching this, then it should be up now, okay? And all the deeds to all that to be up in there. So we're here today to talk about surviving R.Kelly, okay? Happy New Year. I haven't seen you guys in this setting in a very long time. So I just want to say Happy New Year to you and all that good stuff. And before we get started, can I just simply say, I love the fact that Cassie, oh girl, hold on, she wonky. It's been my nose running, my eyes is killing me, my wig is shifting, all that good stuff, girl. We here, okay? We here. That Cassie pulled a Diddy on Diddy, and just when he thought he got her back, gotcha. Go on, Cassandra, live your best life. I hope she get pregnant, and I hope they have just these cute little kids, and Diddy knows that it's a wrap, because once you have a baby, he gonna just be done. You know, Kim was my soulmate. Like, I get it, rest in peace Kim Porter, she was a really nice woman, but for you to say that, and you've been with this girl for 11 years, well, you did take her for Ryan Leslie, so. But anyway, so let's talk about surviving R. Kelly, honey, because it was a mess. It was a mess. Can I just say, I stand with Lovely T about Drea Kelly. Like, I just feel like I get her position with everything, and I get how she feels and all of that cute stuff. But girl, okay, you wasn't talking about that when you was like, keep on buying his records, girl, because that's gonna put money on my table and all of this, and now you oh, you killing me. One thing that stuck out to me in this entire documentary was his brother Bruce. Now, I don't know what Bruce is locked up for, but the way he was talking, he might have been messing with somebody's underage daughter too. Talking about some people have preferences, and they I like older women. My brother likes younger women. He has a preference. We all have a preference. What's the issue? Oh, well, okay. One, the preference is illegal. That's one. Two, why in the Sam hell are you sitting there with a 3X jumpsuit on? That's what I don't know if that's his cell block or his size, but either way, no. And he's defending him in so many words, and people want to say, oh, this is because his circumstances. He was molested and all of this stuff. Listen here, I totally get that. But what we won't do is make excuses for predatory behavior from a grown-ass man who literally was preying on young women because he wanted to have them in his lock and key. This had nothing to do with him being molested and everything to do with him being an egomaniac who was a bitch when he was a child because he was scared of everybody else. That's what I got from it. So when the bullied becomes the bully, okay? Now, a lot of the girls talked about the girl who said that she had caught something and she was like about to die, and she was like, her body didn't move because of this, and he sent her mama $1,000. Listen, let my daughter get something. I am going to make sure that you never do nothing else. I wouldn't give a fuck if I was living in a box. And I got on my motherfucking mama hair right now too. Can you imagine me at somebody's courtroom? My daughter does not get in Blue Bay. If you know what that's from, put it below. But yeah, I just thought it was very interesting, this entire documentary. I don't think it really achieved anything, to be honest with you, because these are things that we've been saying for years. This is not an expose about the Men in Black or the Illuminati or aliens or Area 51. This is literally a story that we have heard for years. And I didn't like the fact that Aaliyah was brought up in the situation, or any of the other girls that were brought up in the situation, like Sparkle's niece, who didn't ask to be a part of this. She might still be in a cult. I don't know. They said he got people under the stairs. I don't know, you know, but I told you guys, I've never been, in my other video, I've never been a fan of R. Kelly. He creeps me out. Truly. He really creeps me out. I don't like him because even Aaliyah's first album, I don't listen to that album very much because the dynamic between them two is very weird. So I make it a point to not listen to that album unless it's Young Nation or Street Thing. And I too had to sing I Believe I Can Fly at my 5th grade graduation. But you know what I did? I did it behind somebody. I was like, nope, I don't like R. Kelly. I don't want to be here. Give me my diploma and let me go. How about that? But overall, the entire situation was just, like I said, a rehashing of what we know to be of R. Kelly, and a lot of people, you know, speaking out now because at the time, I guess they didn't want to go up against somebody and say something and do something, and all these girls have been hurt as a result of people trying to make sure that they still got their check, because that's what I got from it. Everybody and their mama wanted to make sure that they were still getting paid and doing what they were supposed to do. And for me as an individual, I get it. Like, I'm not stupid to the idea. I totally understand it. I just don't respect it. That's all. I just don't respect the fact that you would sit there knowing that these young girls were literally being targeted to be his playthings, and he's giving them venereal diseases, and they're getting pregnant, and he's stressing them out, and they're having miscarriages. And for this person to literally still be out touring blows my mind. Some of y'all gonna be mad at me for what I'm about to say next, but girl, after last year of people being mad at me, I couldn't give a shit. I really don't care now. The black community has a tendency to outcast gay people, but they would literally like let their son be a pedophile, and they're well aware they will protect him with their life. That's why you hear more molestation stories in the black community than anybody, because the mothers are willing to protect their kids. And I mean from any type of repercussions of their actions. And they say, well, he's not that type of person. My son's not a pedophile. Well, what do you call a 27-year-old man manipulating and marrying a 15-year-old girl? What do you call that? That doesn't seem like old Uncle George up the street. That sounds like somebody who clearly has a problem. He can be your child all day, but at the end of the day, that's not normal, that's not okay, and that's not respected, period. Because I would hate for one of y'all daughters to be in a situation like this and you tell them because he's an athlete or because he is a singer or a rapper that she should stay in a situation being abused mentally, verbally, physically, and because of who he is, this should be okay. This is why I get very irritated when I see parents try to tell their children to do city jobs. And there's nothing wrong with a city job, but you set your kids up in such a low bar to the point where they don't know what it is to be their own person and have their own situation, because they've literally been so brainwashed to believe the bare minimum is enough. If a man who has a lot of money, who's an athlete, wants me, then my job is to get pregnant, have their children, be a housewife, get cheated on, have low self-esteem, because this is the life that I chose. Not go out and be a go-getter and get what you need and don't rely on no man to do anything for you. That doesn't really seem to be the thing. It seems to be this ongoing theme about queens, but it seems like as soon as your daughter has a moment to be a queen, you make her be a peasant. Girl, you should stay with him. He got money. Or he's paying all our bills. Just deal with it. That's what I see and hear more often. R.Kelly was in that situation because one, she chose to be, but two, what do I do? Who am I? Where do I go? Because being R.Kelly gets me things. Being R. Kelly's wife and baby mama gets me things. R.Kelly, I don't get anything. But a show called Hollywood Exes, that's what I'm pretty much dwindled to. So in certain instances watching that, I felt bad for a lot of the girls, including Sparkle's niece, but I didn't feel bad for Kitty Jones because she was grown enough to know better. She wasn't a kid. She was a grown-ass woman, and she chose to be manipulated by this man because of who he was. So you went and being a groupie and you got treated like one. And I don't feel bad for you in the instance of this is your story because you chose this story. These girls didn't choose this. They were naive kids like we've all been. We've all been in relationships we shouldn't have been in. And that's whether we're kids, adults, or whatever. It is what it is. But at the end of the day, I think that it's very interesting to see grown women say, you know, I'm a victim and this, and you got younger girls saying, that's not gonna be my story. I'm not gonna be the girl who's known for being with R.Kelly. I just think that as the Black community, this is a great example of enabling people for bad behavior. This is the grandiose example of, we're gonna reward bad behavior because we like your music. You can't read, but you can write a hit, and I don't care. So, you know what I'm saying? But then when it's your daughter, you know, or when it's Harvey Weinstein, or when Tiger was dating Kylie, everybody has something to say. And Kylie and Tiger were closer in age, even though she was still considered underage, than he was to Aaliyah. You know what I'm saying? And the 14-year-old girl who he gained the parents' trust and was having threesomes with a grown woman. You get what I'm saying? So I don't feel bad for the ladies. I don't feel bad for him. I don't feel shit for R. Kelly. I don't feel pity. I don't feel remorse. I don't feel all that little boy. I don't, because at this particular point, and for the stories that I heard, and I have been here for years, he's like this because he chooses to be. He said on camera last year that they should have did this shit 30 years ago. It's too much in the music. That's what it is. The Pied Piper. And I remember my dumb ass was MH and Piper. This is a form of mind control. Music is meant to evoke emotion. And R. Kelly's music does that because, like I've said once and twice and 300 times before, he's written songs that I've liked. You Are Not Alone is one of my favorite Michael Jackson songs. And the fact that he wrote that about a girl who had a miscarriage because she was so stressed out about him, he makes Michael Jackson look like Barney. I'm just saying, like, it's crazy that this is now in 2019 is coming out. And the first thing I heard about him was when Aaliyah's album came out in 1994. That's crazy. But again, I don't think that anything is gonna change. I'm being honest with y'all. If it does, I think that's amazing. But I don't think that R. Kelly is gonna be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law because of who he is. The money that he has, the people like y'all who still listen to his music and still support him, that go to his concerts and wipe the sweat off of his bad body built ass. Like, y'all are part of the problem. And I get it's music, but it's deeper than that, because this is what happens when you give men of power a pass. We end up where young girls, more specifically young girls of color, they end up with this is their story. And it's not just R. Kelly. It's a lot of people who do this. It's not just him. This is more common than you guys would think. So let's be a little bit more mindful about who we support, no matter how good their songs are. Because one day it could be your daughter and you're gonna want the world to stop. So that's all I gotta say about this.